The Chrysalids by John Wyndham. I've read a few John Wyndham books now, and I love his style of almost like British countryside sci-fi. His books kind of feel like they should be read in a cottage in the countryside while you're drinking a cup of tea and there's a fire on the go. I mean, I've never done that personally, but that's kind of the vibe you get from him. But even with that cozy feel, the ideas he writes about are always quite bleak, and they sort of wrestle with that whole human morality thing, but in their own sort of sci-fi way. So this one's set in the post-apocalypse, and due to radiation or something or other, some humans have become mutated or are born with mutations. And mutations can be anything from several eyes or even just an extra toe. And there's also this religious order where anyone who's a mutant is either banished, killed, or they have to run off to a far off place called the Fringes. And then our main character comes into contact with a mutant, and he realizes that they're not the hideous monsters that he's been led to believe, and that maybe he himself might have a hidden mutation. So it's that classic story of using a sci-fi idea to confront different prejudices and that sort of fear of an enemy that looks different. The way Wyndham builds this almost medieval world is just fantastic. You really get the sense of how the world has sort of regressed back to something more primitive, almost tribal, and with technology being almost non-existent. You can imagine the sort of run-down countryside village, and there's mud and probably fucking animal shit everywhere, and there's probably like an ominous fog on the hill. It's a bit like what I'd expect Britain to look like after the film Threads. But it also kind of reminded me of Fallout, this sort of post-nuclear war setting, and how different factions and ideas have sort of risen up. It really is a very immersive book, and I've still got a few Wyndham books to get through, and I always enjoy reading how he's going to use a sci-fi idea to explore that sort of themes of, you know, human nature and stuff like that, and all that lovely stuff that he comes out with.